All right, so today is going to be the 13th. And we're going to be solving exponential equations using logarithms. And we're only going to do the odds on these notes, and then on your homework, you're only going to do the odds on your homework. So I went ahead and put the answers on the board. So just to review, we did this. You guys took a quiz on it, and you did great. So I think you're pretty good. But sometimes when we have an exponential equation, we can write them with the same base. So like number 1, what would the base be? 5. So we would write this as 5 to the n plus 10 equals 5 to the second. And then after that, we just drop all the 5s, set the exponents equal, and we get that n is -8. However, not every exponential equation is set up in a way that we can do that. So if we look down at number 3, and even you don't need your chart today, but if you had your chart in front of you, there's no way I can write 61 as like 2 to the third or 2 to the sixth or whatever. It just doesn't happen. So we have to have another way to solve these, and that's what we're going to learn today. So the first step is to isolate the exponential expression. Now that's already happened. If this is the exponential expression, it's isolated, so we're good with that step. And then step 2 says to write in logarithmic form. So when we write in logarithmic form, if you guys remember, you start with the word log. And then if you like the loop, you can do the loop. It's up to you. But what would the base be of the log? 2. And then we loop over 61 equals x. All right. And then after that, it's just calculator stuff. So I'm going to jot it over here in case you don't remember. To get this log base 2 of 61 in the calculator, you do alpha window 5. And I'm just going to type this in on a couple of them. I think you guys remember pretty well. All right, so alpha window 5. And then we just put in our 2. No, we just put in our 61. And then we're going to round. We're just going to round to 3 decimal places. So we get that 5.931 is approximately what x is.
You only do that whenever you get x?
Say that again?
Like whenever it's like equal to x?
Yeah. So when we're looking for a variable, yeah, we need to type that in the calculator. Now, the last step does say to check for extraneous solutions. You can tell I obviously changed the steps. So we really don't have to check for extraneous solutions. The way we're doing it, you're not going to get like a false solution. If we get an answer, then it's going to be the answer. You can still check if you wanted to. If I took 2 and I raised it to this power, you do not get exactly 61. Let me you get 61.011, which is really close. But because this is an estimation, you won't get exactly the answer. But that's it. That's pretty much it. Now, sometimes there's more steps. Like we didn't have to do this first step, and we technically didn't have to do this third step. So we'll do several more examples. All right. So let's look at number 5. The exponential expression is that 7 raised to the n. So it's being multiplied by the 4. So I don't want that 4 there. So what would I do with it? Divide by it. So since it's being multiplied, to get rid of it, you're going to divide by it. And so it just cancels it out. And we have 7 to the n is equal to 37. All right, so this is one that we cannot write with the same base. So we are ready to do the second step, which is to write in logarithmic form. So we start with log, And then if you guys like the loop, we would do the loop. So log base 7 of 37 is equal to n. Right? And so then to figure out what n is, you would do alpha window 5 and we're going to get that n is approximately 1.856. All right. Any questions? Okay. Let's look at some more. So we're just going to do the odds column today. Number 7 is written in a way that can be super tricky. So the actual exponential expression doesn't have that negative. It's just 4 raised to the x plus 1. And so since this is a positive 7, the first thing we would do is subtract that 7 from both sides. And then we need to get rid of the negative. So we could divide 3 by a negative or multiply 3 by a negative, however you want to write it. All right, so now the exponential expression is isolated. We can write in logarithmic form. Oh, we have to get rid of this negative, so I just divided by -1. Or you can just, I don't know how you want to think about it. You can divide by -1, multiply by -1, just move the negative to the other side. I don't know. All right, so I want you guys to type this in the calculator and tell me what you get. So log base 4 of -11.
It's not a real answer.
Yeah. So it's not possible for us to raise 4 to a power and ever get a negative. It just won't happen. So this is not possible. And that's okay. That just means there's no solution. Some of these don't have solutions. No, we'll just go to the next problem. All right, so this time 3 to the n is our exponential expression. So you guys do whatever you need to do to get 3 to the n by itself, please. All right, so you should get that 3n is equal to 86. All right, so now we're ready to write it in logarithmic form. All right, and then you can type log base 3 of 86 in the calculator and you get 4.055. All right, any questions? Okay, we're going to do a couple more. All right, this one's got a little bit more going on. Same thing, we're going to start off and we would move the 1 first. So we're wanting to isolate 9 raised to the v minus 1. All right, then we divide by 5. All right. Then we're ready to do logarithmic form. So we would do the log base. All right, so this is what v minus 1 is. So what do we do now to get just v? Did you not get what I got? It's possible I missed it.
I got 1.6.
Log base 9 of 36. That's right.
I got 15.3. I got 1.6.
What do we need to do to get this to just be v? We're going to add 1. So since it was v minus 1, we're going to add 1. So that's going to be 2.631 is v. Oh, you don't do the x minus 1. It's just what you typed in. It's just that side. And then to get v, you add 1. All right, so this last one has all the things. Like if you can do 13, you can do any of these that I would ever give you. So there's as many steps as there could possibly be is on this problem. So we would start off by moving that over that 2 by adding it. All right, and then what should I do with the 6? Divide by 8, go ahead. Okay. So once I get that 16 to the 7y plus 2 isolated, I'm ready to write in log form. All right, so this one, I'm going to do this in the calculator, show you guys some stuff. Now to get the most accurate answer, I would type it in log base 16 of 14. All right, and write down what you get. All right, and then I would subtract 2. But when I do it in the calculator, I would just do minus 2 this way. So that way the calculator is using the whole number, not the rounded number. Let's see what we get, right? And then jot that down. All right, and then our last step is to divide by 7. And again, I would just use it in the calculator. So I would do divided by 7. So it's using that whole number and dividing it by 7. That will be the most accurate answer. If you round a whole bunch of times in the middle of your problem, it does mess up your answer at the end. So negative 0.150 is what y is.
Wouldn't that mean it's a negative 0?
It's just a negative variable. So negative 0.150. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to put that into the original problem for y and just make sure we get something close to 82.
Now, it's not going to be exactly 82, but it's something close that rounds to 82. So we're just figuring out what y is. So y can be positive, negative, anything. All right, any other questions? Sure. All right, so on your assignment, I only want you to do the odds. I feel like that's enough practice